Hello everybody. Today I'm going to talk about image inpainting. With our research SEM-Net, you'll be able to remove the branches of this photo here, such that you'll be able to take better photos of this raccoon here. Image inpainting is the task to mark some of the pixels in an image and to regenerate them with a deep neural network. It is a highly challenging task because the inpainted pixels may have some sort of long-range dependency to those that you can observe for the rest of the picture. Now, take a look at the images at the upper right corner here. You observed that when we wish to inpaint one of the two eyes of these human beings, you expect the inpaint eye to be similar to the one that you observe. And these are actually long-range dependencies in the picture. If we use CNN-based networks, usually it doesn't work quite well because convolutional neural network has a limited receptive field and therefore is not very effective in capturing long-range dependencies. Now, in theory, transformer will be able to solve this problem, but in practice, transformers is very computationally and memory costly. So therefore, in order to fit a transformer into a solution, you usually need to do some engineering and optimizations. Say, for example, we need to group pixels into tokens before we fit that into the transformer for self-attentions. And that kind of process will degrade the results that we can obtain, as you can see here. And this is where, in this research, we introduce our contributions. We propose to employ the selective state space model, SSM, or otherwise known as Mamba, for image inpainting. Mamba is very effective in learning long-range dependencies, and we already have some kind of adaptability source code for image inpainting with Mamba already. Surprisingly, Mamba has comparable performance with transformers, but at the same time with significantly reduced computational overhead. It used a lot less memory. It is a lot faster. So what really Mamba does is that given a 2D image, it sequentializes it or serializes it into a one-dimensional vector. And then using the state-space model, it learns the long-term and short-term dependencies. Now, therefore, it also have some limitations. The most important one is that when we do this kind of serializations, we lost the 2D spatial awareness of the image. Therefore, if you just integrate Mamba into an existing solution, like what MUNet here is doing, you'll find that spatially speaking, the eyes looks a bit strange when it's being inpainted. And this is where we introduce our contributions. We propose a spatially enhanced Mamba-based image inpainting framework. And inside this framework, we have two technical novelties, the Snake Mamba Block and also the Spatially-Enhanced Feedforward Network. Now we'll go through the three of them one by one. First, a spatially enhanced Mamba-based image inpainting framework. And this framework is essentially a UNet encoder-decoder structures that are composed of multiple what we call spatially enhanced SSM blocks, i.e. the SEM blocks. These kind of SEM blocks essentially are where the Mamba operation is being performed to capture long-term and short-term dependencies inside the image. And we introduce some very special designs such that we'll be able to retain the spatial awareness during the whole operation. If we zoom into this SEM block, we'll find the two technical novelties that we introduce here. They are the Snake Mamba Blocks as well as the Spatially Enhanced Feedforward Network. Now, if we further zoom into the Snake Mamba Block, we'll be able to understand what it is made of. The Snake Mamba Block essentially is a two-stream network, and at the flying of it, we have a feature fusion functionality to fuse the results of the two streams. Each of the streams consists of their own member operations. But at the same time, because we have two streams, we'll be able to introduce two ways of serializing a 2D image into two 1D vectors for Mamba processing. We further introduce positional embeddings to strengthen the positional awareness. Typical Mambas will serialize an image using a zigzag way. And this way of serialization will break the pixel spatial dependencies. We introduced two ways of serialization using a snake-like features. The first way focused more on the horizontal features, while the second way focused more on the vertical features. And because we use a snake-like features, in the 1D vector, each nearby pixels will have some sort of spatial relevancies with the previous pixels. Next, we zoom into the spatially-enhanced feedforward network. Here, we introduce a feedforward network that combines the feature before the Snake Mamba blocks and the features after the Snake Mamba blocks. The reason why we do it is because before we run the Snake Mamba block operations, the feature would have slightly stronger spatial awareness. And therefore, by fusing the feature before and after the block, we retain this spatial awareness in the operations, and that allow us to generate better inpainting results. We test our system with inpainting benchmark datasets, including Celeb-HQ and Places2. We beat all of the state-of-the-art SOTAS algorithms. Qualitatively speaking, if we look into the results more carefully, we'll realize that when we are asked to repaint one of the eyes in this picture, the eyes that we create is the most similar to the other eyes that we observed, comparing to other methods. We have some similar observation in this second example here. The eyes and the teeth are more similar to the observable pixels. This is because our Mamba blocks are very good at capturing long-term and short-term dependencies. We also check out our results in Places2. The pixel that we create are a lot sharper, less blurred, comparing to other algorithms. And this is because we were able to capture the long-term dependencies from other pixels that are observables. Another result from Places2, and this time we have a very clear pattern, so therefore the advantage of our result is particularly prominent. And because our Mamba-based framework is very memory and computationally efficient, we'll be able to fit that into develop a network that can deal with very high resolution inpainting. So here we are given a high resolution image. We can inpaint some of the pixels and be able to generate very good results. We wasn't able to fit that network into, say, for example, transformer-based network with these sorts of resolutions. Another result for high-resolution inpainting, where we try to remove the human being as well as the footsteps patterns on the sand. To showcase that our network is generalizable to different tasks, we also try to do some deblurring. And in this setup, we just changed the supervision and adapt the network a little bit, and we were able to deblur an image. Now here we test the system with the GoPro dataset, and our method creates some of the sharpest and more reasonable results of this bird car. We tried a second dataset, the height dataset for deblurring. You can see that for the parts, especially for the parts that you have high contrast pixels, our Mamba-based SEM operations generate a much better result. This is the end of our presentation. Please come to our website to check out the project as well as the paper. Thank you.